twisty, Leslie? Tell me if we're straight up or if we're sideways. We should be straight up, wide. Just let me know before we get started. Come on in. We are making pumpkin spice granola today in the oven. Okay, it's by scratch. So here's what you're gonna need. I put the recipe down below, so not on this post, but I can tag it. So on the next post down, we'll have a recipe listed. It is from, can't think of the girl's name that posted this recipe, but her name is also on there because I want to give her some credit because I just kind of took her recipe and I made it my own. But I can't think of her name, I'm so sorry. But it's it's a hashtag below, in the message below. Okay, so I just looked online, but I'll tell you what you're gonna need. 3 cups of oats, and you can eyeball this. This is a recipe, but you can put whatever you want into it. It's granola, it's not, whatever you like is what you should put into it. This is not hard and fast. This is just using a basic recipe. Okay, 3 cups of granola. And as you can see, we buy the granola in bulk from Costco. So that's pretty much 3 cups. And you're gonna need a big bowl because it makes a lot. Next, you can use a bag of shredded coconut. Now, I wish I could find unsweetened coconut, but I couldn't in my grocery store. I know in Denver you could buy raw unsweetened coconut, which seems to me like it would be better. But this is sweetened coconut. And I like the shredded one better, I realized after I accidentally bought, what is this guy? Flaked. Flaked is tiny, so if you have little kids that you may not be sure if they'll eat this, I would go with the flaked because it's kind of tiny. If you are an adult and don't mind a little texture in your mouth, then I would go shredded. Or this batch we're doing half and half, which I have a batch in the oven that we're doing half and half. But, so it's just 1 bag. This is the grocery store brand bag. It is 14 ounces of coconut. Once again, it's sweetened coconut, but it's not that sweet. And if I were you, I would buy unsweetened if you can find it. Okay, a bag of, you could do slivered or sliced almonds. Obviously, if you can't eat nuts, you're not gonna put that in here, right? But I can. So I'm gonna put that whole bag in there. And this makes up so much. Now, pepitas are raw pumpkin seeds, okay? I had to go in every aisle to find that. But it should say pepitas. I found this in the natural aisle. I think it might be in the Mexican food aisle if you can't find it. If not, no big deal. It's no big deal. Where's my spoon? Please hold. Lost my spoon. Okay, so you can just stir this up. This is oats, coconut, slivered or sliced almonds, or don't. If you don't want nuts, if you can't have nuts, don't put it in there. Pepitas, if you can't find them, don't worry about it. Or you can put any other kind of nuts. I think the actual beginning recipe calls for pecans, which I have added, which are delicious. But this time I'm doing almonds. Okay, that is that. Now, here's the interesting part. You're gonna put 2, someone thinks it's time for her dinner. So 2 kind of big pinches of, 3 pinches of, this is pink salt, sea salt, or any kind of salt, which sounds crazy, but that's what makes it so delicious. And we're gonna add some more later too. Okay, so salt that. Okay, now, my poor doggy thinks that it's time for her dinner, but it isn't. Oh, look at my cute shoes. They're my birthday shoes. I bought them for myself. Okay, now come back over here. Stop focusing on the dog. Next, we are going to use a half a can of pumpkin. Now, once again, the recipe I think calls for 1/3 of a cup, but I think a half a cup I mean, a half a can is good. I used organic because, you know, I'm fancy, which I had a crazy dream, which I will not repeat here, but it was about organic food and how I like to buy organic. Anyway, and what I like about this is it's kind of not as solid as the other pumpkin that comes, the other brand. Okay, so pumpkin, 1/3 cup of coconut oil or olive oil. And the funny thing is, look at this is liquid. In Denver, this is solid. I didn't even know that coconut oil stayed liquid until I moved here to Arizona. Anyway, 1/3 cup, you know, get crazy. That seems about 1/3 cup-ish. If your coconut oil is solid, if you live in Denver, Leslie, then just warm it up or use olive oil. Now we're using maple syrup. Once again, I like organic, but you don't have to. It says 1/3 cup. I'm using that much. I hope it might be 1/3 cup. And if you want to, let's just throw a little bit of vanilla extract in here. Just a tiny bit. That'll work. Okay, this is what makes it pumpkin spice. I almost said latte. Pumpkin spice granola. You're gonna use cinnamon. And this is a lot, so feel free to, you know, load it up. I'm using allspice, a tiny, tiny bit. A tiny bit of nutmeg. Now, here's the thing. There's something in the grocery store called pumpkin spice, and that's exactly what these things are. So you could just buy the pumpkin spice, and don't worry about doing it this way. It's just that I already have these spices. And don't use too much nutmeg or cloves because they're super strong, but delicious. And a little bit of cloves. So cloves and nutmeg. Okay, someone thinks it's for dinner time. I feel bad because it isn't. Okay, stir this up. The original recipe said to put this on the stove. I don't really see why you need to do that. I didn't do that for the last batch. It worked out fine. I think it's to melt the coconut oil, but Arizona melted my coconut oil for me, so I didn't need to worry about it. So let us know where you're joining us from, Leslie. You know, in the comments, put a little comment about where you're coming from, and maybe you'll win your own batch of pumpkin spice granola. Leslie, Janet, and Michelle, yours is all on its way already. I just dropped it in the mail today. Okay.
Leslie Paulin of Aurora, Colorado would like to hear about the dream.
Okay, Leslie Paulin of Aurora, Colorado, welcome to Facebook Live. Okay, so last night I had a dream that my mother-in-law, hey, if you're watching, this isn't really anything about our relationship, it's just the dream I had, because you know I have crazy dreams. So my mother-in-law last night in my dream told me that I was wasting her son's hard-earned money on organic milk and I should just buy regular milk like everybody else. So I told her in my dream that she should buy her shoes at Sears with the Velcro to save herself some money, and then literally I ran from the room because my husband came after me in my dream. So you know where his, whatever, alliances lie. Anyway, okay, so this, I won't tell you the other part of the dream I had because my husband's very sweet.
Christine Fries Vernon of Moore Park.
Hey, Christine! Okay, Christine, did you get my message that you couldn't have that very fancy caftan because you picked the most expensive one that I'm selling on eBay? But you can pick a different caftan and I will be happy to send it to you. Not $1 million caftan because you have amazing taste. Anyway, okay, look, here it's getting stirred up. So here's another fun fact about me. When I was a kid, the smell of granola gave me migraines, and so my mom would make it, and I would have to go sit on the front porch because I would want to throw up. That's fun while we're mixing, isn't it? Poor Joan. But my mom was, she made granola, she made homemade yogurt. It was the 70s. Okay, so this is where you will put it. Oh wait, so we put salt in here. We have pumpkin, a half a can of pumpkin, a little bit of vanilla extract, a third of a cup or more, a glug of coconut oil or olive oil, maple syrup, pumpkin spice or allspice, nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon. Then at the end, we're gonna put a little bit more salt. This is just regular salt. This is like a coarse salt. It's just, I know it seems weird, but oh my gosh, it is so delicious. Ask Leslie in the comments. Okay, so here's that. I'm gonna run over real quick because we have a batch in the oven just like TV. Ooh, look. So come over here, cameraman, thank you. And I will show you. I like it very brown, but this has been in for 40 minutes. I like it really, I want the whole thing brown, and I don't like it to feel wet or, God forbid the word moist, gross. Okay. In the comments, if you would like to win some pumpkin spice granola, tell me what words you think are disgusting. Okay, everyone hates moist. Don't put that one in there. My second one is jorts. Oh my gosh, that is the most disgusting word ever.
How much is a glug of oil?
A glug is about a third of a cup, I would say, a third to a half of a cup. That's what the recipe calls for, but okay, so this is getting there. Doesn't it smell good, cameraman? Granola. And even my cameraman is very picky, and even he will eat this. Okay, so this has been 40 minutes. Still not brown enough for me. I like it super brown. Okay, so let's just let that cook for a little bit more. I put this on, the original recipe said 325. It's very hot here. I did 350 because I want it really brown. Now, you want a really ugly pan, and you don't want to put, what's it called, aluminum foil, because you can't stir it. And who cares about an ugly pan? All the pans look ugly. It's not a beauty contest. It's a delicious taste contest. Okay. So I'm going straight up on the pan.
You never did mention the temperature according to one of our viewers.
Oh, that is incorrect. I said the original recipe calls for 325. I like to start mine out at 350 and then go down to 325 if I think it's getting too brown. Now, this is my home. My hands are clean, so I can touch my food. I don't work in a restaurant. Okay. But I am rewashing. Okay, so this is before this goes, oh, I need to dry my hands. Hold on, cameraman, just a moment. Doesn't that look good? And the less you stir it, the more clumpy it will be. But here's the thing, I feel like it needs to be equally brown, so I do stir about every 20 minutes, but leave it in between. Oh, thank you for coming over to the oven with me, sir. I'm gonna put this in the upper rack, and then we'll switch it. Fun fact about our oven. If the previous owners of this home are watching this video, please stop watching now. But I don't think they had ever cleaned it because I scrubbed it so hard and it's still a little dirty. And we live in Arizona, and there's no way I'm turning on that oven cleaner cooker thing. First of all, it smells disgusting, and secondly, it's 7,000 degrees. That's just my little PSA for the day. So, while we are waiting for that to cook, let's talk about how to serve. Okay, so I serve it with Faye Greek yogurt, and if you don't like Greek yogurt, try stirring it and putting some honey in it. That might make it taste a little bit better. So Greek yogurt on the bottom, then some crunchy granola on the top, and then look at these fancy fruits I have. Oh, Leslie, take a look. So we have dragon fruit and star fruit, and I bought these for you ladies when you came to decorate my fruit platter and my breakfast, but I forgot. And since my husband didn't know what that was, I had to show him. Dragon fruit, it's so delicious, by the way, and star fruit. A little drizzle of honey, so good. Okay, wait, I'm not done. Time out. I forgot to say that in the recipe, and I'll add this on my Facebook, is that after it's all baked, then I put in golden raisins. I just think they're pretty. And craisins. Now, don't put these in the oven because they'll get too hard and crunchy and too burnt. And you kind of want super brown on the granola, but you don't want super brown on this because it doesn't taste as good. So,
Joan Bell Hyatt of Fresno,
Joan
California
Bell.
has joined us.
Oh, hey! I told the story earlier, Joan Bell Hyatt of Fresno, California, how you used to make granola and it would give me a migraine, so I had to sit on the front porch. Or eggs. I had to sit on the front porch. Nothing against you. That's just me. It's just how it was. Okay, so since we have new viewers, Joan Hyatt, we are making pumpkin spice granola. My mom made great granola when I was a kid growing up. I thought it was disgusting, but now I think it's delicious. So we used, to recap, oats, coconut, some coconut oil, maple syrup, pumpkin spices, so cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, allspice. If I had ginger, which I looked for, I would have put some in there. A tiny bit of vanilla extract, and I put pink salt, the Himalayan pink salt, because I had some and it's delicious. And then regular crunchy coarse salt on top. After it's done baking, I will add the golden raisins and the craisins. And then, when my girlfriends were here, I caramelized some pecans separately and then tossed those in at the end. And I didn't have any pecans, so I didn't do that, but I put almonds in mine. You don't have to put almonds. You can put pecans. It's delicious. What else? Let's see if we have some done. Hold on 1 second. Please hold. Any questions? Oh, right in the eyeballs. Okay, look at this. Hold on, let me come over here and I'll show you something. So you can see that it's brown and it will crisp up more as it cools. This looks pretty brown, and since this is Mr. Fantastic's batch, is this brown enough for you, or do you want to go browner? What do you think? That's good? Okay. So I will just let this cool. Actually, you can add the golden raisins now. You can use regular raisins. You don't have to use raisins. Where is the raisin capital of the world? Does anybody know? That's such an interesting question. Who knows the answer to where is the raisin capital of the world? Drew, do we have any answers?
Nope.
What?
Leslie Paulin had to leave because the dog was digging halfway to China.
Dang it. Anybody else know where is the raisin capital of the world? Okay. We have no winners today.
Joan Bell Hyatt has weighed in.
Oh, what, Joan? Where does she think is the raisin capital of the world?
Fresno, CA.
Yay! Joan Bell wins herself some pumpkin spice granola. Yay, Joan. And there you have it. Pumpkin spice granola with pepitas, and craisins and golden raisins. And if you would think you have a friend who might like this recipe, please share it, put it on your wall. And of course, like this, give me a thumbs up, some hearts, and whatever. Not, because it's a popularity contest, just because you love me so much. Okay. You will have this if you're invited to my house for Thanksgiving. I think we're having this for breakfast because it stays in the what's it called? Pantry for a while. Here's the other thing about it. I did use organic ingredients. If you were here earlier, you heard about my dream last night, but you don't have to. And now you will know why cost you just $5 a box because it costs about $5 a box to make. But thanks for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye.